Wealth is not the outcome of chance, nor the gift of fortune, nor the inheritance of a few chosen souls. It is a science, a discipline, and most importantly, a vibration of the spirit that can be summoned, cultivated, and directed. Within you, right now, exists an invisible field of energy, your aura, and it is the silent magnet that draws circumstances, people, opportunities, and abundance either toward you or away from you. To understand wealth, you must first understand that money itself is not the root of riches. It is but the symbol of value, the proof of exchange, and the result of ideas put into action. But the true wealth you seek begins within, in the invisible world of your thoughts, your emotions, and your convictions. Your aura is the unseen essence of your inner state. Every thought you allow to take root in your mind vibrates outward. Every emotion you nurture colors the energy you radiate, and every belief you cling to becomes a signal that the world around you detects and responds to. Those who live in scarcity broadcast lack, fear, doubt, and hesitation. Those who live in abundance transmit confidence, vision, decisiveness, and gratitude. If you wish to attract wealth, you must train your aura to carry the vibration of prosperity until it becomes as natural as breathing. Consider the world as a vast marketplace of energy. Every man and woman is both a buyer and a seller of energy, exchanging thoughts, words, services, and resources. You do not attract what you wish for, you attract what you are. If you are saturated with doubt, you will magnetize experiences that confirm your doubt. If you are alive with expectancy and certainty, you will summon opportunities that validate your faith. The aura you carry is a silent salesman, and it speaks louder than any words. To train your aura, you must first train your mind. The mind is the command center of your energy, and every persistent thought eventually imprints itself upon your aura. Think thoughts of poverty, and your aura becomes heavy, clouded, and repellent to abundance. Think thoughts of wealth, possibility, and growth, and your aura becomes luminous, magnetic, and irresistible to opportunities. Wealth begins in the imagination, for imagination is the workshop of creation. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the roads you walk on, and the machines you use, each was once nothing more than a thought in the mind of someone who dared to see it before it existed. But imagination alone is not enough. It must be charged with belief, for belief is the fuel that animates thought. When you believe deeply in your vision, your aura vibrates with certainty, and certainty is contagious. Men and women are drawn irresistibly to those who carry the energy of conviction. They feel it without explanation, as if something within them whispers, "This person knows where they are going and I want to walk with them." Wealth follows conviction the way a shadow follows the body. The aura of wealth is also trained through gratitude. Gratitude is the recognition of abundance already present, and it transforms the smallest possessions into treasures. The one who is ungrateful radiates scarcity, for he fixates on what he lacks, and his aura reflects hunger that never finds satisfaction. But the one who is grateful radiates fullness, and fullness attracts more. When you train yourself to give thanks for the coin in your pocket, the roof over your head, the meal on your table, and the breath in your lungs, your aura becomes a beacon of contentment that draws greater abundance toward it. Gratitude is not only a virtue, it is a strategy for wealth. Discipline, too, is required. For without discipline, the aura cannot be stabilized. Imagine a flame dancing wildly in the wind, its light flickering uncertainly. Such is the aura of the undisciplined mind. But when you discipline your habits, your words, your thoughts, and your actions, your aura becomes steady, powerful, and commanding. The disciplined person walks with a force that others recognize even without knowing why. Opportunities favor the disciplined, for the universe entrusts wealth to those who can govern themselves. You must also understand the role of desire. Desire is the great generator of energy. A man without desire has no magnetism. His aura is dim and uninviting. But a man aflame with definite desire radiates power that others cannot ignore. Desire is not mere wishing. It is the burning obsession that consumes hesitation and drives action. Train your aura by fixing your desire clearly in your mind, writing it upon your soul, and repeating it until it becomes part of your identity. The aura that carries desire is alive with intensity, and life itself bends to serve such intensity. Yet desire without faith is wasted fire, and faith without action is empty air. Faith is the unwavering belief that your desire is already on its way, unseen but inevitable. When faith takes hold, your aura becomes unshakable. Circumstances may look grim, doors may appear locked, but the man of faith radiates an energy that declares, "I will not be denied." This energy confuses obstacles and disarms resistance, for even the universe cannot resist a spirit that believes with unrelenting certainty. Surround yourself with those whose auras are in harmony with wealth. Your aura is influenced by the company you keep, for energy is contagious. Spend your days with the fearful, and fear will color your field. Walk with the doubtful, and doubt will creep into your vibrations. But walk with the confident, the ambitious, the inspired, and you will absorb their energy until it becomes your own. Associations are silent sculptors of your aura, chiseling your invisible field into the shape of those around you. Another key to training your aura is generosity. Wealth is circulation, not stagnation. The miser who clutches every coin in terror radiates lack, and his aura repels abundance, for he has closed the channels through which prosperity flows. The generous soul, however, radiates trust in the infinite supply of the universe. His aura declares there is always more, and the universe responds in kind. Generosity is not reckless giving, but the willingness to release resources with the knowledge that they will return multiplied. When you give freely of your time, your energy, your encouragement, or your resources, you align your aura with the law of circulation, and circulation always brings increase. Train your aura also by mastering your words. Words are carriers of vibration, and they etch patterns upon your aura with every syllable. Speak of failure, and your aura is stained with defeat. Speak of limitation, and your aura contracts. But speak of possibility, opportunity, and certainty, and your aura expands with light. Speak always as though your desire were already realized, for the subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is already true. The aura that flows from such speech commands respect and invites agreement. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. No aura, however magnetic, can substitute for action, but action taken with a powerful aura is irresistible. Train yourself to act promptly upon ideas, to seize opportunities without hesitation, and to persist until success is won. Hesitation dulls the aura, while decisive action sharpens it. The world respects those who act, for action is proof of belief, and belief is the core of magnetism. Resilience is also a necessary ingredient. Wealth rarely arrives without setbacks, failures, and trials. The aura of the weak is shattered by difficulty, but the aura of the strong grows brighter with every challenge. When you rise after defeat, your aura radiates resilience, and resilience attracts allies, opportunities, and resources. The world is drawn to those who cannot be broken. Remember always that wealth is not merely material. Money is one form of wealth, but health, love, peace of mind, and purpose are wealth of higher order. To train your aura only for money is to limit its power, for true abundance is holistic. When you cultivate joy, kindness, creativity, and vitality, your aura becomes a symphony that attracts not only riches, but also the fullness of life. Material wealth without inner wealth is poverty in disguise, but inner wealth unfailingly produces outer wealth in due time. The aura is trained also through vision. A man without vision drifts, and his aura is scattered. But the man with a clear vision, held firmly in his mind, radiates focus and direction. Train yourself to see the future you desire as if it were already before you. Picture it with vivid detail. Hear it, feel it, and walk in it in the theater of your mind. The aura shaped by vision broadcasts that reality into the world, and the world rearranges itself to match it. Above all, consistency is the master key. The aura cannot be trained by occasional bursts of positivity followed by long stretches of doubt and fear. It must be trained daily, deliberately, and persistently. Every morning you rise, you are either strengthening your aura or weakening it. Every thought entertained, every word spoken, every act performed is either polishing your aura or staining it. Discipline yourself to remain vigilant, and in time your aura will carry the permanent imprint of wealth like a fragrance that cannot be washed away. Understand this, you are already a magnet. Right now, You are attracting circumstances, people, and results in harmony with your aura. If you do not like what you are attracting, it is not the world you must change, but the signal you are sending. Train your aura, and the world will change in response. Train your aura, and opportunities that once ignored you will come knocking. Train your aura, and men and women of influence will feel compelled to help you. Train your aura, and wealth will flow toward you as water flows to the sea. The power is within you. It always has been. Wealth is not outside of you. It is within your aura, waiting to be called forth. Train your thoughts, sharpen your desire, anchor your faith, discipline your actions, cultivate gratitude, speak with certainty, give generously, and persist unshakably. Do this, and your aura will shine with such brilliance that wealth cannot help but find its way to you. The universe responds to those who radiate prosperity. Become such a person, and nothing will be denied you. Wealth is yours, if only you will train your aura to receive it. Wealth begins within, for no fortune in the external world can outshine or outlast the condition of the inner world that produced it. Many men and women labor under the illusion that wealth is purely material, that it is nothing more than money stacked in banks, land measured in acres, or possessions filling houses. Yet history proves again and again that fortunes built without inner mastery soon crumble, while those who command their inner state can create riches from nothing and rebuild empires even after apparent ruin. The truth is clear: your aura, the unseen field of energy shaped by your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, is the magnet that either attracts or repels abundance. To understand this, imagine your life as a mirror. Every experience you encounter, every opportunity or setback, every friend or adversary reflects not random chance, but the inner vibration you radiate. This vibration, your aura, is formed by the quality of thoughts you allow to dominate your mind and the emotions you habitually cultivate. When your thoughts are heavy with doubt, fear, or resentment, your aura darkens, and the mirror of life returns conditions that match those vibrations. But when your inner world is saturated with faith, optimism, gratitude, and determination, your aura shines brightly, and the mirror reflects opportunities, allies, and resources that resonate with that brightness. Wealth, therefore, is not pursued. It is attracted. The harder one chases it from a place of desperation, the further it seems to run. But when the inner magnet is properly tuned, wealth begins to flow naturally, sometimes in unexpected ways, as if life itself conspires to arrange the circumstances necessary for prosperity. To train this magnet, you must first discipline your mind, for thought is the architect of aura. What you dwell upon repeatedly etches grooves into your subconscious, and these grooves send out a signal that life obeys without hesitation. If your mind is fixed on scarcity, on what you lack, on debts, on failures, then your aura broadcasts scarcity and more lack will come. But if your mind habitually entertains images of growth, abundance, and achievement, your aura declares this expectation to the universe, and the universe responds accordingly. Consider two men standing at the edge of opportunity. One is filled with fear, whispering to himself, "It is too risky. I may fail. I am not ready." The other burns with vision, affirming, "This is mine to take. I will learn as I go. Nothing can stop me." Though the opportunity is the same, the outcomes will differ drastically. The fearful man's aura repels allies, scares away resources, and invites circumstances that confirm his hesitation. The man of vision, on the other hand, magnetizes support, draws guidance, and attracts success, for his aura broadcasts certainty. This is not mystical, it is practical. People naturally gravitate toward confidence and distance themselves from doubt. Opportunities, like people, favor those who radiate power. Emotions further color the aura, acting as amplifiers of thought. A thought alone may be weak, but when charged with emotion, it becomes a force. Anger, jealousy, and worry amplify negativity and push wealth away, for no one wishes to partner with or reward such vibrations. Joy, gratitude, and determination, however, amplify positivity, making the aura magnetic to abundance. Gratitude, in particular, is a powerful tuner of the aura. When you are genuinely thankful for what you already have, no matter how small, your aura broadcasts fullness. fullness attracts more, just as a fertile field draws rain, while emptiness repels. The ungrateful soul radiates lack, and lack only multiplies itself. Beliefs are the foundation of aura, for they determine which thoughts and emotions are permitted to remain. A man may entertain a vision of wealth, but if he secretly believes he is unworthy, that belief will poison his aura and sabotage his efforts. Another may begin with little, but if he believes with all his being that he is destined for prosperity, his aura will steadily draw conditions to make it so. Belief is like the soil in which all thoughts and emotions grow. Poor soil yields weeds, while rich soil produces fruit. Train your beliefs as carefully as you train your actions, for belief is the silent director of destiny. To cultivate an aura that attracts wealth, you must first decide clearly what wealth means to you. For some, it is financial freedom. For others, it is the ability to serve, create, and live without limitation. Whatever your vision, let it be definite, and let it saturate your imagination. See yourself already in possession of it, live in that image with feeling, and believe that it is unfolding even now. As you hold this vision, align your actions with it, speak words that match it, and surround yourself with influences that reinforce it. In time, your aura will radiate such consistency that wealth will feel compelled to draw near like iron to a magnet. You must also guard your aura against contamination. Negativity from others, toxic environments, and repeated indulgence in doubt can cloud your field and weaken your magnetism. Protect your mind as you would a treasure chest, letting in only those ideas that build, uplift, and empower. Refuse to entertain gossip. Refuse to speak of failure. Refuse to fixate on obstacles. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing which aspects of reality you will magnify. Even in hardship, seek the seed of opportunity, for focusing on that seed will make your aura fertile ground for its growth. Remember, too, that wealth is not confined to material riches. True abundance encompasses health, peace, love, creativity, and purpose. A man who accumulates millions but lives in misery is impoverished, while another who radiates joy, health, and strong relationships is truly wealthy even before the money arrives. The irony is that inner wealth naturally produces outer wealth, for the aura of a healthy, joyful, purposeful person is irresistibly magnetic. People wish to work with him, opportunities flock to him, and money becomes a byproduct of the richness he already carries within. The training of your aura is not accomplished in a single day, but through daily discipline. Each morning presents a choice. Will you dwell on fear or faith, on lack or abundance, on doubt or determination? Every choice shapes your aura, and the aura you carry shapes the wealth you attract. Over weeks, months, and years, this consistent training creates a permanent field of prosperity around you, so that even in difficult times, your aura continues to pull in solutions and opportunities. The great truth, then, is this. Wealth does not begin with money. It begins with you. It begins with the unseen forces of thought, emotion, and belief that radiate from your being into the world. Master these forces, and your aura becomes a powerful magnet, drawing abundance with effortless certainty. Ignore them, and no amount of toil or chance will produce lasting prosperity. Wealth begins within, always within, and the aura you cultivate today is the fortune you will live tomorrow. Imagination is the workshop of prosperity. For everything that exists in the physical world was once no more than a thought in the invisible realm of the mind. The skyscrapers that pierce the sky, the bridges that span great rivers, the machines that shrink distance and time, all were conceived first as intangible visions in the minds of men and women who dared to imagine them. Nothing appears in reality without first being formed in the blueprint of thought. Imagination is the architect, and reality is its obedient builder. To understand wealth, therefore, one must first understand that prosperity begins not in banks, businesses, or markets, but in the fertile soil of the imagination. When you close your eyes and see with your inner vision, you are standing at the gates of creation. The images you permit to linger and take shape are not idle fantasies. They are seeds sown in the invisible field of possibility. Just as a gardener plants seeds with confidence that the earth will yield its harvest, so must you plant images of wealth, success, and fulfillment with faith that reality will mirror them in due time. The careless mind plants weeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, and life dutifully grows them into obstacles. The disciplined mind plants visions of prosperity, and life unfailingly brings forth opportunities that align with those visions. Imagination has often been dismissed as childish daydreaming, yet it is the power that has moved civilizations forward. The wheel, the printing press, electricity, flight, and the digital world that connects us, each was the product of imagination. The men and women who conceived them refused to accept the limits of what was seen. They dared to imagine what was unseen and held to those images with conviction until reality bent to their vision. If imagination can build cities, change nations, and reshape the future of mankind, can it not also build for you the wealth, freedom, and abundance you desire? To prosper, you must first train your imagination to see beyond current circumstances. Poverty is not merely the absence of money, it is the presence of limited imagination. Many people remain trapped in scarcity because they cannot imagine themselves living differently. They accept their present conditions as final, never daring to picture a life of greater abundance. But those who rise are those who see further than their circumstances. They use imagination as a telescope, gazing beyond the present moment into the reality they intend to create. Imagination must also be definite. A vague hope produces a vague result. To imagine wealth without clarity is like a builder sketching a house with no dimensions, no design, no details. The clearer your image, the more powerfully your mind can shape it. Imagine the exact lifestyle you desire, the home you live in, the work you do, the freedom you enjoy, and the impact you make. Feel the texture of that life in your mind until it becomes real to you long before it arrives in the physical. The mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined reality and a physical one. When you imagine with enough intensity and repetition, your subconscious accepts it as fact, and your actions, habits, and aura align with it until it becomes fact indeed. But imagination alone, without belief, is impotent. A man may picture a grand future, but if he secretly believes it is impossible, his imagination is sabotaged. Belief charges imagination with life, as electricity charges a circuit. When you believe in the images you hold, they stop being daydreams and become instructions to your subconscious. The subconscious, in turn, directs your thoughts, words, and actions in harmony with those images, making their manifestation inevitable. To believe is to give permission for imagination to create. Emotion strengthens this process. Imagination that is dry and mechanical produces little, but imagination infused with desire, excitement, and joy becomes magnetic. When you feel the thrill of already possessing what you imagine, your aura vibrates with that reality, and the world responds. Imagine wealth with indifference, and nothing stirs. Imagine it with passion, with gratitude, with certainty, and unseen forces begin to conspire on your behalf. Emotion is the fuel that drives the engine of imagination. Imagination is also the tool for overcoming obstacles. Where others see dead ends, the imaginative mind sees detours and hidden doors. When confronted with failure, most people surrender, declaring it cannot be done. But the imaginative person asks, how can it be done differently? Every great fortune has been born not of smooth paths, but of obstacles overcome through creative vision. Imagination transforms setbacks into stepping stones, turning barriers into breakthroughs. Without imagination, failure is final. With imagination, failure is temporary, for the mind will always find another way. Another truth is this: imagination is most powerful when linked to purpose. Idle daydreams of wealth without reason often fade into nothing. But when wealth is imagined as a tool to achieve a definite aim, to build, to serve, to create, to uplift, then imagination gains moral and spiritual force. Prosperity born of such imagination endures, for it is rooted in contribution rather than selfishness. Wealth without vision corrupts, but wealth born of imagination aligned with purpose blesses both its possessor and the world. You must also guard your imagination. What you expose your mind to becomes the raw material from which it builds images. If you feed it constant pictures of failure, limitation, and fear through conversations, media, or your own careless thinking, your imagination will reproduce those images faithfully. But if you feed it inspiration, stories of success, knowledge, and vision, it will craft images that expand your possibilities. The mind is a workshop, And like any workshop, the quality of the output depends on the materials supplied. Protect your imagination as carefully as you protect your treasure, for it is the source of all treasure. Consistency is essential. A single burst of imagination may inspire, but sustained imagination transforms. Daily, deliberately return to the images of the life you desire. Build them clearer, brighter, stronger in your mind. Hold them until they become as familiar as your current surroundings. Soon they will not feel like imagination, but like memory of a future already destined. The subconscious then works tirelessly day and night to bring those images into reality, guiding your choices, alerting you to opportunities, and magnetizing resources. Understand this. The world around you is plastic to the power of imagination. It reshapes itself to mirror the dominant visions held in the human mind. Entire industries have been born because one person imagined them. Fortunes have been created because one person dared to picture them. Your imagination is no different. If you can see it clearly, believe it deeply, and act upon it persistently, then reality must yield. This is not mere philosophy, it is the law of creation itself. So train your imagination as the workshop of prosperity. Use it not for idle fear or destructive fantasy, but for the deliberate construction of your desired life. Picture wealth with clarity, charge it with belief, fuel it with emotion, and align it with purpose. Protect it from corruption, feed it with inspiration, and return to it consistently. In time, what you once saw only in the mind will stand before you in the world. Prosperity is first imagined, then lived. Everything first exists in the mind before it manifests in reality, and your imagination is the key that unlocks that truth. Belief fuels magnetism. For nothing in life is drawn to uncertainty, and nothing of value is built upon hesitation. A man who wavers in his own vision repels allies and opportunities as surely as a magnet turned the wrong way repels metal. But a man who carries within himself the fire of conviction and the certainty of success radiates an invisible force that calls forth resources, people, and circumstances to aid him. Belief is not a luxury, it is the foundation of prosperity. Without it, imagination remains idle fancy. Desire burns without fuel, and action lacks persistence. With it, every thought becomes charged, every step gains direction, and every challenge bends in submission. Look closely at the lives of those who rise from obscurity to wealth and influence. Their stories may differ, their environments may contrast, their talents may vary, but one element is common among them: unshakable belief in their vision. Belief is the inner declaration that says, though the world doubts me, I will not doubt myself. Though circumstances defy me, I will not surrender. Though obstacles surround me, I will break through. Such belief infuses the aura with a frequency so strong that others feel it before a word is spoken. It is the unseen confidence that makes strangers want to help, investors want to trust, and partners want to follow. Belief is contagious. When you stand in certainty, those around you begin to borrow your assurance. People are drawn irresistibly to a person who knows where he is going. They may not even fully agree with his vision, but they cannot deny the pull of his conviction. The doubter walks into a room and spreads hesitation. The believer walks in and spreads inspiration. The aura of belief is a beacon, signaling to the world, here is a person destined to succeed. Join them and success will touch you as well. Yet belief must be authentic. Empty bravado is quickly unmasked, for the aura cannot lie. True belief comes from planting your vision so deeply in your heart and mind that it feels more real than your current circumstances. When belief reaches that depth, it no longer needs to shout, it simply radiates. Others sense it as they sense the warmth of a flame. Even in silence, the man of conviction speaks through his energy. Belief also governs resilience. The one who believes does not crumble at the first sign of difficulty, for his conviction assures him that setbacks are temporary. He interprets failure not as defeat, but as feedback. His aura remains strong, even when outer results are delayed, because his inner certainty cannot be shaken. This is why life eventually yields to him, for the universe respects consistency, and nothing is more consistent than true belief. The doubter gives up after one or two failures, signaling to life that he does not truly desire his goal. The believer persists until life, seeing his unwavering stance, finally concedes and grants him the prize. Belief also sharpens action. A person who half believes moves cautiously, hesitating, waiting for proof before committing. Such hesitation weakens the aura and drains momentum. But the person who fully believes acts with speed, courage, and decisiveness. His aura commands attention, and opportunities respect his swiftness. Success favors the bold because boldness is evidence of belief. When you believe in yourself and your vision, you no longer wait for conditions to be perfect. You create the conditions. The world adjusts itself to the steps of those who walk with certainty. The power of belief extends beyond the individual to the very fabric of the universe. Belief aligns you with unseen laws that respond to your conviction. It is as though life itself bends toward the one who believes, opening doors that were invisible before. This is why two people can face the same opportunity. One succeeds while the other fails. The difference is not luck but belief. The successful one enters with certainty, and his aura magnetizes all necessary support. The other enters with doubt, and his aura silently signals resistance. Belief, however, is not blind. It does not ignore obstacles or deny reality. It acknowledges them but refuses to be ruled by them. Belief is the decision to see beyond appearances, to hold fast to the inner vision until outer reality conforms. It is the knowledge that every great achievement seemed impossible until it was done, and that impossibility is merely a label given by those without imagination or faith. Belief looks at the same world others see, but interprets it differently. Where others see barriers, belief sees stepping stones. Where others see scarcity, belief sees hidden abundance waiting to be claimed. To cultivate belief, you must first choose it. Belief is not a gift from fate, but a discipline of the mind. You strengthen it by feeding your thoughts daily with affirmations of success, by surrounding yourself with examples of achievement, by recalling past victories, and by acting in harmony with your vision even before results appear. Each step you take in faith strengthens the aura of belief until doubt no longer finds a foothold. Gratitude also nourishes belief. When you thank life for even the smallest signs of progress, your aura proclaims, "I trust the process. I know abundance is unfolding." This confidence multiplies, drawing greater evidence to support it. Gratitude is the language of belief, and it tells the universe you are already aligned with prosperity. Above all, belief must be sustained. A moment of conviction is not enough, for the storms of life will test you. The aura of belief must be trained until it becomes unshakable. Each trial you overcome strengthens it further until eventually your conviction shines like steel forged in fire. At that point, nothing can stop you, for belief itself has become your magnet, pulling all you require into your orbit. Belief fuels magnetism because belief is certainty embodied, and certainty is irresistible. Conviction turns thoughts into power, radiates through your aura, and summons people, opportunities, and resources as though they were waiting for your signal. To believe deeply is to command reality itself, for reality cannot deny the one who knows without. Gratitude multiplies wealth, for the heart that learns to appreciate what it already possesses broadcasts a vibration of fullness, and fullness always draws more to itself. There is no force more magnetic than the energy of genuine thankfulness. When you look at your life and acknowledge every blessing, however small, you declare to the universe, "I am already rich." And because life reflects the state of your inner world, it responds by sending you more experiences, opportunities, and resources that match that wealth. Gratitude is not just a virtue, it is a strategy for prosperity. It transforms ordinary moments into treasures, and in doing so, it conditions your aura to radiate abundance. Many people spend their lives focused on what they lack. They look at their neighbors and envy their possessions. They scroll through images of others and feel only comparison and dissatisfaction. They dwell on debts, bills, and problems until their minds are saturated with scarcity. And what does this do? It sends a signal of lack, and life faithfully returns more lack to confirm it. A man who feels poor, no matter how much he earns, lives in poverty. A man who feels rich, no matter how little he begins with, sets himself on the path to true prosperity. Gratitude makes the difference. When you cultivate gratitude, you train your mind to see wealth everywhere. The coin in your pocket becomes a symbol of abundance. The roof over your head becomes a palace. The meal before you becomes a feast. The friendships and relationships in your life become treasures greater than gold. This shift in perception alters the frequency of your aura. Instead of radiating emptiness and hunger, you radiate satisfaction and fullness. Others feel this energy and are drawn to it, for all people crave to be in the presence of someone who radiates contentment and joy. In this way, gratitude not only attracts material wealth, but also enriches your relationships, your opportunities, and your influence. Gratitude also transforms adversity. A man without gratitude curses difficulties, magnifies problems, and blinds himself to solutions. His aura darkens, and even greater burdens fall upon him. The grateful man, however, looks at hardship and asks, what lesson is hidden here? What strength am I gaining? What opportunity is disguised within this challenge? By giving thanks even in trial, he extracts value from every experience, and his aura shines with resilience. Life, seeing his refusal to be broken, rewards him with resources and allies to carry him forward. Gratitude turns stumbling blocks into stepping stones and converts setbacks into setups for future success. There is a law in the universe. What you focus upon expands. Gratitude focuses the mind on blessings, and blessings multiply. A farmer who tends the crop he already has reaps more. A farmer who neglects it in search of a better field loses even the little he began with. In the same way, the person who treasures what is already present creates a foundation for greater abundance. The one who despises his portion repels prosperity, for life will not entrust more to one who cannot honor the little he has. Gratitude, therefore, is the proof of readiness for wealth. When you wake each morning and give thanks for your health, your breath, your opportunities, and your relationships, you set your aura in alignment with prosperity before the day even begins. This alignment attracts circumstances that mirror that gratitude. The day seems to flow more easily. People respond more warmly. Unexpected opportunities arise. What others call luck is often nothing more than gratitude in action. Gratitude primes the magnet of your aura to pull toward you the best of what life has to offer. Moreover, gratitude creates peace of mind, and peace of mind is itself a form of wealth. What good is money without peace? How many men have gathered riches but lived in misery because they never learned to be grateful? They always reached for more, never appreciating what they already had, and so their lives became endless dissatisfaction. The man of gratitude, however, enjoys wealth long before his fortune grows, for he lives in joy now. Ironically, because his aura radiates this joy, material riches flow to him more easily, while the one who chases without gratitude finds himself always empty. Gratitude also inspires generosity. When you feel rich, you are inclined to give, and when you give, you open channels for greater wealth to flow back to you. The miser, clinging to every coin in fear, radiates lack and closes himself off from prosperity. The grateful giver, on the other hand, radiates trust in abundance, and abundance proves him right by returning multiplied. Gratitude, then, not only multiplies what you already have, but also sets in motion the circulation of wealth, ensuring a continuous flow. To cultivate gratitude, begin with a simple practice. Each day, name what you are thankful for. Write it, speak it, or reflect on it in silence. Let your mind dwell not on what is missing, but on what is present. Over time, you will find that your perception shifts. You will notice blessings where once you saw none. You will recognize opportunities where before you saw obstacles. Your aura will grow lighter, brighter, and more magnetic, and prosperity will find its way to you with increasing frequency. Gratitude is not denial. It does not mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on the good even amidst the imperfect, and in doing so, giving power to the good to expand. A man may be ill and yet give thanks for the strength of his spirit. A man may be in debt and yet give thanks for the skills and opportunities to create wealth. By giving thanks, he shifts his aura from despair to hope, from scarcity to abundance, and life responds accordingly. In truth, gratitude is the secret multiplier of wealth. It turns little into much, struggle into strength, and ordinary days into extraordinary experiences. The man who learns to be grateful is wealthy already, and the world, recognizing his fullness, hastens to add to it. The ungrateful man, no matter how much he acquires, remains poor, for poverty of spirit cannot be disguised by possessions. So let gratitude be the foundation of your prosperity. Appreciate what you already have, however small it may seem, and you will find it growing. Give thanks for every blessing, and more blessings will arrive. Radiate fullness, and abundance will be drawn to you as surely as rivers flow to the sea. Gratitude multiplies wealth, because gratitude is wealth, and when you embody it, prosperity cannot help but follow. Discipline stabilizes your aura, for without it, the energies of your life scatter like seeds in the wind. A man may dream grandly, imagine vividly, and believe passionately, but if he lacks discipline, his aura flickers and falters. Success does not flow to instability. It is drawn to consistency, to power that can be trusted, to energy that is steady and unwavering. Discipline is the invisible backbone of prosperity, the silent architect of enduring wealth. It is not merely the act of control, but the mastery of the self, the governing of impulses, the alignment of actions with vision. When your aura radiates discipline, you become irresistible to success, for the world recognizes in you the strength to handle abundance. Consider the man who begins with great enthusiasm. He declares his goals with fire. He writes plans with precision. For a day or a week, perhaps even a month, he acts with vigor. Yet when comfort beckons, when distractions whisper, when fatigue presses upon him, he falters. His aura dims, his energy becomes inconsistent, and wealth, sensing his instability, withdraws. Contrast this with the man of discipline. He rises each day to his duties whether or not he feels inspired. He moves forward through resistance, sustains effort through monotony, and remains steadfast through adversity. His aura radiates reliability, and success, like a loyal companion, comes to dwell with him. Discipline is power harnessed. Without it, energy leaks away in trivial pursuits. With it, energy is concentrated like sunlight through a lens capable of igniting fire. A disciplined man does not waste his strength on every passing fancy. He channels it into what builds his vision. His aura glows with intensity, and this glow attracts opportunity, for people and resources gravitate toward those who demonstrate mastery of self. Others sense in him a stability they can trust, and trust is the currency of wealth. Banks lend to him. Partners align with him. Investors believe in him. Followers rally behind him. All because his aura broadcasts, "I can be relied upon. I will endure." Discipline is also the guardian of consistency. Great achievements are rarely born from sudden bursts of effort, but from steady, repeated action. The river does not carve valleys by a single surge of water, but by flowing persistently over ages. Likewise, discipline ensures your actions accumulate day by day into monumental results. A man who writes a single page daily produces volumes in a year. A man who saves a small sum consistently builds fortunes. A man who trains his skills with discipline masters his craft until the world cannot ignore his excellence. His aura, infused with the rhythm of consistency, becomes magnetic, drawing recognition and reward. But discipline is not a chain that restricts. It is the key that unlocks freedom. Many misunderstand it, believing it steals pleasure. In truth, it creates the conditions for lasting joy. The man without discipline is enslaved to impulses. He eats what he should not, spends what he cannot afford, wastes hours he cannot regain. His aura is chaotic, burdened by guilt, regret, and weakness. The disciplined man chooses his path consciously, saying no to distractions so he can say yes to his vision. He delays gratification not because he rejects joy, but he pursues greater joy. His aura radiates strength and direction, and this makes him magnetic to all that sustains wealth and prosperity. Discipline also builds inner power. Each act of self-mastery strengthens the will, just as each repetition strengthens muscle. The man who disciplines himself to rise early discovers energy. The man who disciplines himself to control speech learns influence. The man who disciplines his spending discovers resources multiplying. These victories, though small in themselves, accumulate into an aura of undeniable power. Others sense it even before he speaks. They feel his steadiness, his resolve, his command of himself. Such a man inspires confidence and respect, and both are precursors to prosperity. Furthermore, discipline shields your aura from the storms of circumstance. Life will test you with difficulties, distractions, and delays. The undisciplined man reacts wildly, shifting course at every gust of wind, his aura unstable, his energy scattered. The disciplined man holds steady. He may adjust his sails, but his course remains fixed. This stability creates trust not only in the eyes of others, but in the very fabric of the universe. Wealth flows to the one who demonstrates he can hold it, manage it, and multiply it. And the proof of this lies in discipline. Discipline also strengthens the bond between thought and action. Many think noble thoughts, but fail to act upon them. Many desire wealth, but lack the persistence to labor for it. Many dream, but never rise from their beds. Discipline bridges the gap between the inner world and the outer reality. It ensures that what is imagined is acted upon and that what is acted upon is completed. In this way, discipline transforms invisible desire into visible success. Your aura becomes charged with integrity, the alignment of thought, word, and deed. And integrity is magnetic, for it attracts the trust upon which fortunes are built. Let us not forget that discipline is not a one-time achievement, but a daily training. Each day offers the choice to indulge weakness or to strengthen mastery. Each day's choice leaves its mark on the aura. Indulgence dims it. Mastery brightens it. Over time, these choices create a radiant energy field that either repels or attracts success. To train your aura for wealth, therefore, is to train your discipline. The wealthiest men and women are not always the most brilliant or the most talented, but they are nearly always the most disciplined. They remain faithful to their work long after others have quit. They continue to build when others are distracted. They stay the course when others have surrendered. Their discipline stabilizes their aura, and their aura stabilizes their success. In truth, discipline is the ultimate proof of desire. Anyone can want wealth, but few want it enough to govern their impulses for it. Anyone can dream of success, but few prove their readiness by practicing discipline. Wealth, therefore, chooses to dwell with the disciplined, for it knows it will be safe in their hands. And once wealth arrives, discipline ensures it is not squandered but multiplied, not lost but secured, not fleeting but enduring. So let discipline be your crown. Wear it daily in your actions, in your choices, in your sacrifices. Let it steady your aura, strengthen your will, and broadcast reliability to the world. In time, success will come to you not as a fleeting visitor, but as a permanent resident. Discipline makes you irresistible to wealth because discipline is the language of abundance, the proof of mastery, and the mark of one who is ready to rule himself and therefore ready to rule his world. Desire ignites energy, for nothing in life has ever been created, discovered, or built without the spark of longing that burns within the human spirit. A weak wish is like a candle flickering in the wind, easily extinguished by the slightest breeze. But a burning desire, an all-consuming obsession with one's goal, blazes like a roaring fire that not even storms can put out. This fire fills your aura with a force so intense that it compels opportunities, people, and circumstances to bend in your favor. It is not mere want, but an obsession, a sacred hunger that transforms every thought, feeling, and action into fuel for the journey toward wealth and success. The man who simply wishes for wealth may speak of it often, yet his actions betray his weakness. He waits for chance, complains of circumstances, and makes excuses for inaction. His aura radiates passivity, and so life passes him by. The man of burning desire, however, wakes each day consumed by his vision. He cannot rest until he acts, cannot sleep until he moves forward, cannot ignore the pull of his destiny. His aura glows with urgency, and the universe itself seems to rearrange events to aid him. Others sense this intensity and are inspired or compelled to align with him, for desire is contagious when it burns brightly enough. History has proven that desire is the root of greatness. No empire was founded, no fortune built, no masterpiece created without it. The scientist who spends decades in pursuit of a solution, the entrepreneur who sacrifices comfort to build an enterprise, the artist who paints or writes despite poverty, all are driven by a desire so great that it overrides fatigue, fear, and failure. Their aura pulses with the rhythm of this obsession, and it draws toward them the very material and immaterial elements required for success. Wealth, in its deepest sense, answers not to idle thought, but to burning desire. Desire ignites energy because it awakens parts of you that slumber when goals are weak. A man with lukewarm ambition moves sluggishly, distracted by trivial pleasures, hesitant in action. But the man consumed by desire finds energy even in exhaustion. He discovers creativity in crisis, courage in fear, and perseverance in obstacles. His aura broadcasts this boundless energy, and life responds with doors opening where none seem to exist. His passion bends resistance into submission, for even barriers cannot withstand the steady flame of true desire. This is why desire must be clear, specific, and deeply personal. Vague wishes scatter energy, but a well-defined burning desire concentrates it. A man who says, "I want to be wealthy," without clarity or purpose diffuses his energy into confusion. His aura is diluted, but the man who says, "I will build an enterprise that creates value for thousands, and in return I will achieve wealth by this date and amount," sharpens his desire into a laser beam. His aura becomes charged with precision, and this precision attracts matching circumstances. The clearer the desire, the stronger the energy it ignites, and the more magnetic the aura becomes. Desire also transforms obstacles into stepping stones. To the man of weak wants, every difficulty is a signal to quit. To the man of burning desire, every difficulty is fuel for the fire. His obsession reframes setbacks as challenges to overcome, delays as tests of patience, rejection as redirection. His aura radiates resilience, and life in turn rewards his persistence with greater strength, deeper wisdom, and new opportunities. In this way, desire not only ignites energy but sustains it, ensuring that the fire burns not just in moments of ease but in the long nights of struggle. Desire commands attention. People are drawn to those who are ablaze with purpose. A man with passion in his eyes and conviction in his voice carries a magnetism that no words alone could achieve. His aura speaks louder than his mouth, communicating urgency, certainty, and destiny. Such a man rarely works alone, for others rush to join his cause. Investors trust him, partners align with him, followers believe in him. This is not by chance but by law. The energy of desire attracts those who can feed its flame and share in its fruits. But one must be warned, desire without discipline is like fire without control. It consumes recklessly and destroys more than it builds. To train your aura for wealth, desire must be paired with self-mastery. The fire must be directed, given purpose, contained within the channels of vision and action. A burning desire channeled through discipline becomes creative force. It fuels persistence, drives innovation, and creates results that no ordinary wish could ever manifest. Without direction, desire becomes chaos. With direction, it becomes destiny. The beauty of desire is that it renews itself the more it is pursued. Each small victory fans the flames. Each lesson learned deepens the hunger. Each step forward confirms the vision and strengthens the aura. The man who feeds his desire daily with visualization, affirmation, and relentless action keeps his aura ablaze. Over time, this aura becomes unstoppable, for no external force can dim the light of a soul consumed by purpose. Wealth becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitability, for life itself bows to the will of the truly obsessed. Desire also dissolves fear. Fear and desire cannot occupy the same space with equal strength. The man who allows fear to dominate his aura hesitates, doubts, and repels opportunity. But when desire burns hot enough, fear melts like wax before the flame. The aura charged with obsession radiates courage, not because danger disappears, but because the goal shines brighter than the risk. Desire becomes a shield, fortifying the will against criticism, failure, and delay. The man of burning desire may stumble, but he rises with greater strength, for his goal refuses to release him. Ultimately, desire is the starting point of all wealth. Before the first action, before the first opportunity, there must be the inner fire. Without it, no plan matters, no knowledge endures, no effort sustains. With it, even the humblest beginnings can rise to greatness. It is the match that lights the torch, the spark that powers the engine, the heartbeat of achievement. Desire ignites energy, and that energy radiating through your aura becomes the irresistible magnet of success. So let your desire not be casual but consuming. Let it take root in your mind until it dominates every thought. Let it pulse through your heart until it drives every action. Let it blaze through your aura until all who meet you feel its heat. Desire is the difference between mediocrity and greatness, between poverty and wealth, between drifting and destiny. Nurture it, fuel it, and discipline it, and you will find that the world cannot resist the intensity of your aura. Desire ignites energy, and with that energy, nothing can stand between you and the wealth you are destined to attract. Faith makes your aura unshakable, for when a person believes with unwavering certainty, he becomes immovable before the storms of life. Many men begin their journey toward wealth with energy and desire, but when obstacles appear, their confidence crumbles and their aura loses its power. Faith is the anchor that holds fast in the turbulent seas. It is not blind hope, but a deep inner knowing that what has been envisioned shall come to pass regardless of temporary delays, difficulties, or defeats. This belief is so magnetic, so charged with energy, that even setbacks are transformed into stepping stones, carrying the believer closer to his destiny rather than pushing him away. The aura of faith radiates stability. When others panic, the man of faith stands calm. When others give up, he continues. His composure becomes a beacon, drawing trust, respect, and loyalty from those around him. People sense his certainty even when he does not speak of it. They feel his quiet assurance, and this assurance reassures them as well. In business, in leadership, in relationships, the man whose aura is infused with faith becomes irresistible, for all human beings long to align themselves with those who truly believe. Faith does not merely sustain the self, it inspires others to rise higher, and in doing so, it multiplies wealth and influence. Setbacks are inevitable in the pursuit of success. No path is free of obstacles, and no dream is achieved without trial. Yet here lies the distinction. To the man of weak belief, a setback is a signal to quit. To the man of faith, a setback is merely a lesson, a temporary detour on the road to victory. His aura does not waver in the presence of adversity. It grows brighter, more magnetic, as if fueled by the very challenge itself. He interprets difficulties not as punishments, but as preparations, designed to strengthen him, refine his character, and enlarge his capacity for abundance. The universe itself respects such resilience, rewarding it with new doors opening precisely when the old ones close. Faith has a mysterious quality. It bends reality to align with belief. A man who doubts continuously sends vibrations of uncertainty, and life responds with instability, inconsistency, and lost opportunities. A man who believes with absolute conviction sends vibrations of assurance, and life responds by arranging circumstances, people, and events to match his certainty. It is not magic, but law. Faith stabilizes the aura, and a stable aura acts as a magnet, pulling into life the resources that harmonize with its frequency. This is why those who believe deeply often appear lucky, when in truth they are simply aligned with the natural laws of attraction and manifestation. Faith also empowers persistence. A man without belief cannot endure long stretches of effort without reward, for he doubts the outcome and therefore abandons the path. But the man of faith continues laboring even when results seem invisible, because he knows the harvest will come in its season. This unshakable persistence becomes his greatest advantage, for most others quit before the miracle arrives. His aura, steady and magnetic, attracts the moment of breakthrough, and when it comes, it seems sudden to the world but has long been inevitable to him. The unshakable aura of faith also dispels fear. Fear feeds on uncertainty, and doubt creates fertile ground for fear to grow. But where faith reigns, fear withers. The man who believes does not deny risk or danger, but he sees them in perspective, as shadows that cannot endure against the light of conviction. His aura radiates courage, and this courage draws to him allies, opportunities, and outcomes that would never appear to the fearful. In this way, faith becomes a shield that not only protects but also attracts. It must be understood, however, that faith is not passive. It does not mean sitting idly, expecting wealth to fall into one's lap. True faith is active. It is belief expressed through action. The man of faith acts as though success is certain, and his very behavior sends this message into the world. He speaks with conviction, makes decisions with clarity, and carries himself with confidence. His aura reflects this alignment, and others cannot help but be influenced by it. Action proves belief, and belief strengthens action, creating a cycle of unstoppable momentum. Even when faith is tested by long delays, it has the power to endure. The impatient man complains when results do not appear immediately, and his aura weakens with frustration. The man of faith, however, trusts in timing. He understands that wealth, like a crop, requires seasons to grow. He continues to water his vision with effort, to nourish it with persistence, and to protect it with patience. His aura remains bright and magnetic, and eventually the harvest arrives in abundance. To him, the wait is not wasted. It is preparation for receiving what is already his by right of belief. Faith also refines vision. Doubt clouds the mind, making goals appear uncertain and paths unclear. Faith sharpens focus, bringing clarity to purpose and determination to the will. A man who believes sees possibilities where others see barriers. He notices opportunities hidden in plain sight because his aura is tuned to expect them. His unwavering belief acts like a compass, guiding him even when the road twists and turns. While others wander aimlessly, he moves steadily toward his destination, his aura glowing with the confidence of one who knows exactly where he is going. In the realm of wealth, faith is perhaps the greatest asset. Money follows certainty. Investors, partners, and customers are drawn to those who believe unshakably in their mission. A leader who doubts loses followers. A leader of faith gathers them effortlessly. Wealth itself behaves like a follower. It flows to those who radiate conviction, because conviction signals stability and reliability. Without faith, even great ideas fail. With faith, even humble beginnings can grow into empires. Ultimately, faith makes your aura unshakable because it aligns you with a universal truth. Life rewards those who believe. Setbacks become setups, delays become lessons, and obstacles become training grounds. The man of faith transforms everything into progress, and his aura reflects this alchemy. He is unstoppable, not because life spares him from hardship, but because his belief turns hardship into fuel. Such a man cannot be defeated. He can only be delayed, and every delay only strengthens his eventual victory. Therefore, cultivate faith until it saturates your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Speak as though your success is certain. Act as though your wealth is inevitable. Hold to your vision even when the night is long and the road is hard. Let your aura radiate unshakable belief, and you will find that life itself bends in your favor. For faith transforms the impossible into possible, the unseen into seen, and the dream into reality. Faith makes your aura magnetic, and once magnetic, no force can prevent you from drawing wealth and success into your life. Generosity activates circulation, for wealth is not meant to stagnate but to move, to flow, to exchange hands, and to multiply through its movement. Just as water that sits still becomes stagnant while flowing water remains pure, so too does money lose its vitality when it is hoarded in fear. True prosperity does not belong to the one who clutches tightly to every coin, but to the one who allows wealth to pass through his hands with trust that more will come. Generosity is not simply charity, it is a declaration of faith in abundance. It tells the universe, I am not afraid of lack, for I know there is always more. And in response, the universe opens greater channels, ensuring that wealth not only flows back, but grows in the process. The man who hoards lives in constant anxiety. He is haunted by the thought of loss, burdened by the weight of mistrust. His aura radiates fear, and that fear repels opportunity. Even when money sits in his account, he feels poor, for he sees wealth as something fragile, something that must be guarded with desperation. But the generous man walks freely. His aura glows with the confidence of abundance. He gives not recklessly but with wisdom, sharing resources, time, or knowledge, because he knows circulation ensures continuation. He feels rich in the act of giving, and this richness becomes his reality. Life mirrors his generosity by sending him allies, opportunities, and fortunes that the miser will never know. Generosity is a law of circulation. What is withheld in fear decays, but what is released in trust returns multiplied. The farmer who refuses to plant seeds in the soil because he fears losing them will reap no harvest. The one who scatters generously, trusting the laws of nature, gathers abundance in season. Money works in the same way. Spend wisely, invest boldly, share willingly, and your aura begins to broadcast the frequency of flow. This frequency attracts wealth because wealth belongs to the current of circulation. It avoids the stagnant pond of fear and rushes toward the river of generosity where it can move, grow, and expand. Generosity also builds connections. No man becomes wealthy in isolation. Prosperity flows through networks of trust, relationships, and goodwill. The generous man attracts partners who admire his spirit, clients who respect his fairness, and communities who support his mission. His aura communicates abundance even before he speaks. People sense that he does not approach them with a clenched fist, but with an open hand. And so they are drawn to him, eager to join in ventures, recommend opportunities, and share in the circulation of his success. Generosity creates loyalty that money alone cannot buy. It is important to understand that generosity is not only about money, it is about energy, kindness, ideas, encouragement, and service. A man who freely gives his knowledge increases his influence. A leader who invests time in his people multiplies their loyalty and productivity. A person who shares encouragement builds networks of strength that return to uplift him in his own moments of need. This form of giving fills the aura with warmth and strength, making it magnetic not just to financial wealth, but to all forms of prosperity, love, respect, opportunity, and support. Generosity also heals the relationship with wealth itself. Many live in fear of money, resenting it when they lack it, clinging to it when they have it, and never feeling free. This fear poisons the aura, creating an energy of tension that drives prosperity away. The generous man, however, befriends wealth by allowing it to move. He does not chain it to himself, but lets it flow through him. In this way, he becomes a channel for prosperity rather than a container. And the channel is always replenished, for it is in the nature of wealth to flow to where it is most freely circulated. There is a paradox in generosity. The more you give, the more you realize you already have. Gratitude and generosity are twins. One multiplies the other. By giving, you affirm abundance, and this affirmation strengthens your aura. You begin to see yourself not as needy, but as overflowing. And as you see yourself, so the world sees you. Others perceive you as prosperous, reliable, and powerful, and opportunities rush to those who radiate such qualities. This is why the wealthy, in spirit and in fact, are often the greatest givers, while the miser, regardless of his bank account, remains poor. But generosity must be rooted in wisdom, not in recklessness. To give blindly without purpose is to waste resources. True generosity flows from vision. It invests in people, in causes, in opportunities that align with your values and goals. It is not about diminishing yourself, but about expanding others and, in turn, expanding yourself through them. When generosity is intentional, your aura carries both the energy of abundance and the clarity of direction, and this combination becomes irresistible to success. Fear tells a man to hold back. Faith tells him to release. The fearful man's aura contracts, growing smaller with each act of withholding. The faithful man's aura expands, glowing brighter with each act of giving. In time, this expansion becomes visible in his life. Wealth does not come to him in trickles, but in rivers, for life entrusts greater resources to the one who has proven he can circulate them. This is the secret of philanthropists, whose fortunes only seem to grow the more they give. They understand the law of circulation. What flows out in trust flows back in abundance. Generosity also transforms the inner world. A man who gives lives in joy, he experiences the satisfaction of making a difference, the fulfillment of lifting others, the freedom of releasing fear. His aura shines with lightness, attracting even more to be joyful about. In contrast, the miser lives in heaviness, weighed down by suspicion and greed. His aura darkens, and even his possessions bring him no happiness. Thus, generosity is not only a path to greater wealth, but to greater well-being. It enriches the soul as well as the bank account. Ultimately, generosity activates circulation because it aligns you with the very rhythm of life. The sun gives without depletion, the earth yields harvest without withholding, rivers flow without hoarding, all of nature operates in generosity, and prosperity follows its laws. To give is to step into harmony with this rhythm, and in doing so, you become a vessel through which abundance flows. The man who understands this never fears lack, for he knows he is connected to an infinite source. His aura radiates trust in abundance, and abundance never disappoints such trust. So release your grip, give freely, wisely, and joyfully. Let wealth flow to and through you. Do not fear the act of circulation. Embrace it as the lifeblood of prosperity. As you give, so shall you receive, multiplied, enriched, and magnified. For generosity is not loss, but gain, not emptiness, but fullness, not depletion, but circulation, and through it your aura becomes a magnet to wealth, ensuring that prosperity will never leave you, but will flow endlessly into and through your life. Action bridges the invisible and the visible, for all the visions, affirmations, and inner magnetism of the mind mean nothing until they are translated into movement. The aura may be charged with desire, belief, and imagination, but without decisive steps, these forces remain as potential energy, unexpressed, unmanifested. Action is the language of faith. It is proof that you trust the unseen, proof that you are not merely dreaming but daring, not merely wishing but working. To act is to draw a line between those who imagine prosperity and those who embody it. The aura of the man of action is sharper, brighter, and more magnetic because the universe responds to motion. Stagnation clouds the aura, while movement clears it, sharpens it, and amplifies its force. Every man who has achieved anything of lasting value has stood at the crossroad between hesitation and decision. Hesitation weakens the aura, for it radiates doubt and attracts confusion. Decision strengthens the aura, for it declares certainty even before evidence appears. Once a decision is made, action must follow, and when action follows persistently, the invisible begins to shape itself into the visible. This is how opportunities are created by movement. A plan without action is a shadow. A desire without work is a mirage. Action is the bridge that takes thought from the intangible realm of possibility and plants it in the soil of reality. The man who waits for perfect timing waits forever, for perfection never comes. But the man who acts in faith sharpens his aura with every step. His movement declares to himself and to others that he believes in the worth of his vision. This conviction radiates outward, drawing resources, allies, and circumstances into alignment. People are drawn to confidence, and confidence is communicated through action. You can speak of dreams, you can write of goals, but only action proves belief. It is not the words, but the deeds that magnetize opportunity. Persistence multiplies the power of action. One act may begin momentum, but repeated acts forge destiny. The aura grows stronger when actions are consistent, when they are repeated even in the face of difficulty, even when results are delayed. Every time you act despite resistance, your aura grows brighter, for you have demonstrated mastery over doubt. The universe respects persistence, for it reflects unwavering faith. Those who stop at the first obstacle declare through their aura that they do not truly believe, and thus their magnetism fades. But those who push forward, who act again and again, radiate determination, and determination attracts breakthrough. Action also refines desire. Many wait to act until every detail is clear, until the path is fully revealed. But clarity comes through movement. The man who steps forward finds doors that were invisible from a distance. He discovers opportunities that cannot be seen until he is already in motion. Action sharpens the vision, corrects errors, and reveals possibilities. The aura of the man in motion is constantly adapting, evolving, expanding. His energy is alive, and life responds to the living. The man who refuses to move, who remains paralyzed by fear, weakens his aura with each day of inaction. His energy becomes dull, stagnant, and unconvincing. Even small actions carry immense power. A single step in the right direction creates ripples that extend far beyond what the eye can see. Each act strengthens belief, for the mind takes evidence from behavior. When you act boldly, your subconscious concludes that you truly believe, and it begins to align every thought and resource to match your action. This inner alignment magnifies the aura, making it radiant with authenticity. Others can sense it, even if they cannot name it. They are drawn to you because they feel the power of someone who lives what he speaks. Decisive action is also a magnet for respect. People trust those who act, not those who only talk. Leaders are followed because they move first. They take risks. They set the example. Inaction breeds doubt in others as well as in yourself. But decisive action earns trust, builds momentum, and turns followers into allies. Your aura speaks louder than words, and it speaks most clearly through the actions you take consistently. There is also a spiritual law at play. The universe cannot align with you until you move. Providence meets you at the point of action. Doors open only for those who knock. Opportunities appear only for those who seek. Rewards come only to those who labor. To sit and wait for wealth is to declare through your aura that you expect something for nothing, and this weakens your magnetism. But when you act, even imperfectly, you demonstrate alignment with abundance, and abundance responds. The man who acts decisively also conquers fear. Fear feeds on delay. The longer you wait, the larger fear grows, whispering doubts and magnifying obstacles. But when you act, fear diminishes. Each step weakens its grip until it dissolves entirely. This liberation strengthens your aura, for nothing dims the energy of a man like fear, and nothing brightens it like courage. Action is courage embodied, and courage makes the aura radiant. Persist long enough, and action transforms into habit. Habit creates momentum. Momentum builds power, and power ensures results. At that stage, wealth is not an accident, but an inevitability. The aura of the man who has built momentum through persistent action is irresistible. He draws success as naturally as the sun draws plants toward its light. Opportunities seem to chase him. Resources flow to him. People rally around him because his movement has created a gravitational pull that nothing can resist. Action is the proof of belief, the sharpening of the aura, and the bridge between thought and wealth. Without it, all the imagination, gratitude, and faith in the world remain idle forces. With it, every principle of prosperity finds expression, and the invisible becomes visible. To act is to say to the universe, I am ready, and the universe responds to readiness with abundance. So let no day pass without action. Let no fear delay your movement. Decide, act, persist, and act again. In this rhythm, your aura will shine with strength, your belief will be proven, and wealth will be drawn to you with irresistible force. For action is not merely the execution of thought, it is the magnet that brings thought to life, the bridge that transforms possibility into prosperity. Consistency shapes destiny, for it is not the great effort of a single day, but the steady rhythm of repeated days that forges a man's future. A single spark of inspiration may ignite desire. A bold decision may begin the journey, but it is the repeated act, the persistent application, that engraves wealth into reality. Your aura responds to what you do repeatedly. A man may dream of prosperity, speak of abundance, or even act with intensity for a short while, but if his efforts are scattered and irregular, his aura remains unstable, flickering like a flame in the wind. Wealth avoids instability. It is drawn to order, rhythm, and structure. Just as nature rewards the farmer who plants, waters, and cultivates daily, life rewards the one who disciplines his aura with consistent practices. The aura is like a field that must be cultivated. A single day of planting seeds is not enough, for weeds return swiftly to untended soil. It is the daily attention, the unbroken habit, that ensures growth. When you wake with vision, live with gratitude, and work with discipline day after day, your aura becomes fortified, stable, and magnetic. Opportunities recognize steadiness, for success is not an accident, but a response to persistent preparation. Inconsistency signals doubt and weakness, but consistency radiates certainty, and certainty is irresistible. Vision must be practiced daily. It is not enough to imagine wealth once and then return to ordinary thought. The mind must be directed again and again, morning and night, toward the image of prosperity you seek. Each repetition carves the vision deeper into your subconscious until it becomes part of your aura. A clear, consistent vision radiates like a beacon, guiding resources and allies toward you. Without this repetition, the image fades, the aura weakens, and the energy of desire disperses into nothing. Gratitude, too, must be cultivated daily. To give thanks only in moments of abundance is to misunderstand the law of wealth. Gratitude must be constant, practiced when little appears as well as when much is present. By repeating gratitude daily, you stabilize your aura in the frequency of abundance. This steadiness multiplies wealth, for the universe mirrors consistency. If you are grateful one day and resentful the next, your aura sends mixed signals and attracts confusion. But if gratitude becomes your daily language, your aura broadcasts fullness without interruption, and fullness always draws more to fill it. Discipline is the spine of consistency. Desire without discipline burns brightly and dies quickly. Vision without discipline remains only a dream. Gratitude without discipline fades under pressure. Discipline ensures that the practices shaping your aura do not falter. It keeps you on the path when distractions tempt you, when setbacks challenge you, and when results appear delayed. Discipline transforms inspiration into habit, and habit into destiny. Each day of disciplined action builds momentum, and momentum is a force far greater than isolated effort. The man of consistency does not rise and fall with moods. He does not act only when inspired. He has trained himself to act regardless, to persist regardless, to repeat regardless. His aura carries the strength of reliability, and reliability attracts trust. Others know he can be counted on, that he will not waver, that he will continue until success is inevitable. Wealth flows to those who are reliable, for fortune favors the steady hand, the unshakable spirit, the man who keeps his word not only to others but to himself. Inconsistency, on the other hand, weakens the aura. To work in bursts of enthusiasm and then collapse in idleness creates instability. It confuses the energy around you and signals unreliability to others. Opportunities hesitate to approach the inconsistent man, for they sense his lack of endurance. He may begin well, but will he finish? He may talk boldly, but will he persist? Wealth does not gamble with uncertainty. It flows toward the aura that radiates dependability, the energy of a man who does today, tomorrow, and every day what is required of him. Consistency also transforms small actions into great results. No act is insignificant when repeated daily. A single drop of water is nothing, but repeated drops carve stone. 10 minutes of visualization, repeated daily, engraves vision deep into the soul. A modest act of saving or investing, repeated consistently, multiplies into fortune. A brief period of study, repeated daily, compounds into mastery. It is not the magnitude of a single effort, but the accumulation of repeated efforts that creates destiny. This principle applies not only to wealth, but to every aspect of life: health, relationships, influence, and growth. To be consistent is to be patient, for wealth is rarely built in sudden leaps, but in steady progression. The aura of the patient man is calm, unwavering, and magnetic. He does not radiate desperation, for he trusts the process of accumulation. His consistency signals that he believes in the inevitability of his success, and this belief strengthens his magnetism. Others are drawn to him since he is steady in a world of restlessness, dependable in a world of instability. Consistency also requires alignment. To persist daily in practices that weaken you is to consistently create failure. Therefore, the training of your aura must be aligned with vision, gratitude, and discipline. When these elements are practiced in harmony, consistency shapes them into a force that nothing can resist. Vision provides direction, gratitude provides energy, discipline provides structure, and consistency weaves them into destiny. Without consistency, each is scattered. With consistency, they unite into power. Ultimately, consistency is character revealed in action. It is the difference between wishing for wealth and becoming wealthy. It is the bridge between momentary inspiration and permanent transformation. Your aura cannot be trained in a day, but it can be trained through daily repetition until it becomes unshakable, radiant, and magnetic to abundance. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you become through consistent practice. So live each day with vision clear before your eyes, gratitude alive in your heart, and discipline guiding your steps. Repeat these practices until they shape your nature. Let consistency become your identity, and destiny will unfold accordingly. Wealth will cease to be a distant dream and will become the natural outcome of who you are. For consistency is not only the key to results, it is the sculptor of character, the builder of aura, and the architect of destiny.